all of you to Bhakti Sangha conference call. I thank all of you for attending this session. Please forgive me for interrupting your ecstatic chanting. I would like to read the 10 offenses to the holy name which are to be avoided, written by Srila Vyasadeva in Padma Purana. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2nd, to consider the name of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal or to be independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. 3rd, to disobey the order of the spiritual master. 4th, to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6, to give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activity Karmakanda. 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10, to not have a complete faith in chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success of Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sangha conference call. Before we move on to the next part of the session, may I know who all joined this morning?
हरे कृष्ण विनीता कंदर्विका माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीति दासी फ्रॉम शार्लोट हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna Priti Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every single day and announcing your name first. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and all the glories to the assembled devotees. This is Manjri Lila Devidasi from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Manjari Lila Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your recitation every single day and chanting so beautifully. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devidasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna Yeshumati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your recitation every single day and encouraging all of us, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Ganapika Mataji, my humble obeisances to you and all assembled devotees, all worship Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Param Pavani Shama Devidasi from Baltimore, and I'm very sorry and also my heartfelt good wishes for Shama Gauri Mataji's father. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Parambhavani Shama Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining. Yes, Mataji, we continue pray for Shama Gauri Mataji's father. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी प्लीज एक्सेप्ट माय humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Shama Gauri Devidasi from Charlotte. Thank you so much everyone for praying for my dad. It was really amazing. He was very conscious when he left. That's what we want,
Hare Krishna Shama Gauri Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and thank you so much for sharing how he left his body. That shows like how always Krishna is there with devotees. Even you were saying like you want to be with him, but Krishna arranged in different way. But what you are supposed to do, he did it by himself. So Krishna is always there with devotees. So that's assurance gives us so much of so much of encouragement. We don't have to worry for anything. Just practice. Give your time. Krishna is there with you. Hare Krishna.
care of everybody.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Vinta Gandharika Mataji, Yoga Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Raleigh. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your recitation every single day. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. This is Sundarangi Radha Devi Dasi from Canada.
Hare Krishna Sundarangi Radha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving a recitation every single day. Welcome to the call. Is there anybody would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. This is Mitravinda Mamta Mai Devidasi from Charlotte, Srila Prabhupada ki.
Hare Krishna Mitravinda Mamta Mai Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for joining every day, Mataji, and thank you for announcing today. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the call.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today, we are very fortunate to have His Grace Amogh Lila Prabhu to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 14th chapter, 41 verse. Verses number and chapter number is very nice. 14 and 41. Hare Krishna. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I request Param Bhavani Shama Mataji to take over from here. Over to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for opportunity of this seva. His Grace Amogh Lila Prabhuji is a disciple of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj and is presently serving as the Vice President of the Dwarikadhish Temple at Dwarka. He was a boy with outstanding talent right from childhood. As a child, he was a very quiet, but internally his spiritual desire to thank God went on increasing. Finally, after 12th standard, he left home in search for his spiritual answers. He met many religious organizations, but it was only ISKCON that could quench his spiritual thirst. He stayed in ISKCON Delhi for 3 months and later went back to his parents' insistence to complete his engineering and worked in HCL company for 6 years. It was finally 2010 that he became a full-time brahmachari. He and his team during these testing times of COVID-19 are doing we're doing commendable job serving a nutrient prasadam under the Food for Life campaign to the much needed people in New Delhi. He has the art of combining the heavy philosophy with just the right proportion of anecdotes, one-liners, humor to leave the audience spellbound and inspire them to embrace this path of bhakti. He has helped thousands of kids from getting free from the clutches of addiction and depression. He is a life coach of many, and his lectures on stress problems, art of parenting do not need any introduction. His lectures in both English and Hindi have their own flavor, thus able to target a larger audience. We are very grateful to have him as our speaker on Bhakti Sangha and are ready for his class. Hare Krishna Mataji, over to you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Parambhavani Shama Mataji, thank you so much for reading that brief introduction. All glories to Prabhuji's services. I think Prabhuji is not yet joined. We will pause the recording here and then I will continue.
Join little late, like 5 minutes. So
Okay.
we can do kirtan or we can do chanting or we can read verse.
Okay, Mataji. So anybody would like to do kirtan? Okay. Otherwise, I will continue chanting, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Okay. Sudhakar Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Yeah. I learned a few kirtans. If you wish, I can try.
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji. Please go ahead.
But it is in Hindi. So,
Yes, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
okay, I'll just try. Okay, my voice is not that good, but I'll try. मोहन तेरी चरणों की जो धूल ही मिल जाए, सच कहता हूँ मेरी तकदीर बदल जाए। मोहन तेरे चरणों की जो धूल ही मिल जाए, सच कहता हूँ मेरी तकदीर बदल जाए। सुनता हूँ कृपा तेरी दिन रात बरसती है, सुनता हूँ कृपा तेरी दिन रात बरसती है। एक बूंद जो मिल जाए, मन की कली खिल जाए। एक बूंद जो मिल जाए, मन की कली खिल जाए। मोहन तेरे चरणों की जो धूल है मिल जाए, सच कहता हूँ मेरी तकदीर बदल जाए। यह मन बड़ा चंचल है, कैसे करूं सॉरी यह मन बड़ा चंचल है, कैसे तेरे भजन करूं। जितना इसे समझाए, उतना ही मचल जाए। जितना इसे समझाए, उतना ही मचल जाए। मोहन तेरे चरणों की जो धूल ही मिल जाए, सच कहता हूँ मेरी तकदीर बदल जाए। मोहन इस जीवन की बस एक तमन्ना है, मोहन इस जीवन की बस एक तमन्ना है। तुम सामने हो मेरे और प्राण निकल जाए। तुम सामने हो मेरे और प्राण निकल जाए। मोहन तेरे चरणों की जो धूल है मिल जाए, सच कहता हूँ मेरी तकदीर बदल जाए। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the beautiful bhajan. Thank you so much. So, Shamagauri Mataji, we will do the chanting or we will read the verse, Mataji. What do you think?
You can read the verse, Mataji.
Okay. Parambhavani Shama Mataji, you wanted to sing something?
Mataji, can I sing not sing, maybe recite the Radhika Ashtaka?
Yeah, sure, Mataji.
Shri Radhika Ashtakam from Govinda Lilamrita Shukasari Stava by Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Kumkumakta Kanchanabja Garbhahari Gaurabha Pitananchitabja Gandha Kirti Nindi Saurabha Ballavesha Suna Sarva Vanchitartha Sadhika Mayyamatma Pada Padma Dasya Dastu Radhika Auravinda Kanti Nindi Chitrapatta Shatika Krishna Matta Bringa Keli Fulla Pushpa Vatika Krishna Nitya Sangamartha Padma Bandhu Radhika Mayyamatma Pada Padma Dasya Dastu Radhika Saukumarya Shrishta Pallavali Kirti Nigraha Chandra Chandanotpalindya Sepya Shita Vigraha स्वाविमर्शवल्लवीश कामतापबाधिका मह्यमात्मपादपद्मदास्य दास्तु राधिका विश्ववन्दजौवताभिवन्दितापि या रमा रूपनव्ययौवनादिसम्पदानयत्समा शीलहार्दलीलया च शायुषोऽस्ति नाधिका मह्यमात्मपादपद्मदास्य दास्तु राधिका रासलास्य गीत नर्म सत्कलाली पंडिता प्रेम रम्य रूप वेश सद्गुणाली मंडिता विश्वनव्य गोपयोषिदालितोऽपि अधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु राधिका नित्य नव्य रूप केली कृष्ण भाव संपदा कृष्ण राघवंध गोपयोवतेषु कंपदा कृष्ण रूप वेश केली लग्न सत्समाधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु राधिका श्वेत कंप कंटकाश्रु गद्गदादि संचिता मर्ष हर्ष भामतादि भाव भूषणांचिता कृष्ण नेत्र तोषि रत्न मंडनालिदाधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु राधिका याक्षनाथ कृष्ण विप्रयोग संततोदिता नेक दैन चापलादि भाव वृंद मोदिता कृष्ण जत्न लब्ध कृष्ण संग निर्गताखिलाधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु राधिका अष्टकेन यस्तनेनैनोति कृष्ण बल्लभा दर्शनेऽपि शैलजाति योषिदालि दुर्लभं कृष्ण संग नन्दितात्मदास्य सीधु भाजनं तं करोति नन्दितालि संचयासु साजनं हरे कृष्ण
Thank you so much, Parambhavani Shama Mataji. Thank you so much for beautiful recitation.
Beautiful singing, Mataji. We can read verse, Mataji, now.
Mataji. You would like to recite, Mataji?
No.
You like to do the verse, Mataji? Mataji, Indu Mataji will read the purport and translation.
Yeah, no, Indu Mataji will read. Mataji.
Okay, Indu Mataji.
He does very nice.
Thank you, Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 14, Text 41. Purusheswapi Rajendra Supatram Brahmanam Vidhu Tapasa Vidyaya Tushtya Dhate Vedam Harestanum. Synonyms, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Purusheshu, among persons, api, indeed, Raja Indra, O best of kings, Supatram, the best person, Brahmanam, the qualified Brahmana, Vidu, one should know, Tapasa, due to austerity, Vidyaya, education, Tushtya, and satisfaction. Date, he assumes, Vedam, the transcendental knowledge known as Veda, Hare, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Tanum, body or representation. Translation: My dear king, of all persons, a qualified Brahmana must be accepted as the best within this material world, because such a Brahmana, by practicing austerity, Vedic studies, and satisfaction, becomes the counterpart body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. From the Vedas, we learn that the personality of Godhead is the Supreme Person. Every living entity is an individual person, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the Supreme Person. A Brahmana who is well versed in Vedic knowledge and fully conversant with transcendental matters becomes a representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. and therefore one should worship such a brahmana or Vaishnava. A Vaishnava is superior to a brahmana because whereas a brahmana knows that he is Brahman, not matter, a Vaishnava knows that he is not only Brahman but also an eternal servant of the Supreme Brahman. Therefore, worship of a Vaishnava is superior to worship of the deity in the temple. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura says, Sakshat Dharitvena Samasta Shastre. In all the scriptures, the spiritual master, who is the best of the Brahmanas, the best of the Vaishnavas, is considered to be as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This does not mean, however, that the Vaishnava thinks himself God, for this is blasphemous. Although a Brahmana or Vaishnava is worshipped as being as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, such a devotee always remains a faithful servant of the Lord and never tries to enjoy the prestige that might accrue to him from being the Supreme Lord's representative. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for reading the verse. And the purport.
Again, Mataji. Prabhuji didn't join.
Good morning, yeah, Mataji, yes. So what we will do, Mataji, we will continue chanting, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji.
We'll continue chanting because we don't know when Prabhuji joins, so that we can immediately stop. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji join. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for joining and giving your valuable time and association this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. I now hand over the call to you, Prabhu. Prabhuji, we read the verse and read the translation and purport. Prabhuji, you always start with the bhajan, whatever you would like to.
Yes. Okay. So firstly, I seek forgiveness because I'm stuck in a traffic jam. That's why I got late, but still I'm stuck. So that's why I'm just keeping my video off. As soon as I reach my room, I'll keep the video on. So till the time, please kindly tolerate. Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Sopadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapad Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shrirupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanutam Tam Sajivam Sadhvaitam Savdhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahaganalita Shri Vishakhanitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sudadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshtarine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langai Tegirim Yatkrapadam Hammande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hare Krishna. So today we are discussing the verse, Canto 7, Chapter 14, chapter entitled is Ideal Family Life, and verse number 41. And I would just read the translation once again. So, my dear king, of all persons, a qualified brahmana must be accepted as the best within the material world. Such a brahmana, by practicing austerity, Vedic studies, and satisfaction, becomes the counterpart body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, a qualified brahmana. So, brahmana can be of for various reasons. Like there is a jati brahmana. That means a person who is a brahmana, as there is a family lineage going on. So, that is jati brahmana. Just like when is
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Probably Prabhuji's connection is not stable. That's why Prabhuji left. No, dear devotees, from everyone, Prabhuji's connection is probably unstable, and that's why Prabhuji got disconnected from the call.
As he mentioned, he's traveling, so he's on the way to the destination where he's going to go. Once he reaches that place, maybe the internet would be better. We can wait. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Yeah, Prabhuji is there back.
okay, yeah, here I am. So I'm so sorry for this network thing. So brahmana can be a brahmana for various reasons. So one is that Anjati brahmana, and I gave you the example of Ashwathama, who is son of Dronacharya. Dronacharya was a capable brahmana, ideal brahmana, but his son was not really a brahmana, so he is Jati brahmana. Another classification of a brahmana is Karma brahmana. That means there are brahmanas, but they are brahmana because of the rituals which they do. They are expert in rituals, recitation of the mantras, and in terms of nitty-gritties of yagyas, and they know that much, and that's it. So they are known as karma brahmanas. And then there is a jnana brahmana. That means somebody is a brahmana because of the virtue of knowledge, and that's why this person is known as brahmana. Brahmana should have spiritual knowledge because a brahmana takes pleasure in acquiring knowledge and giving knowledge. That's the way brahmana is, and brahmana should relish it. It should not be enforced upon the brahmana that you should study, open the books, study. No, naturally he is inclined towards acquiring knowledge and distributing knowledge. So patan, yajan, dan, pratigriha. So gyan is very important aspect of brahmana. So but there can be a brahmana who is in terms of by knowledge. But there can be a brahmana who is not just knowledgeable, but he's having knowledge and he has digested that knowledge. That means he's a realized person actually. He has understood Brahman. He knows the Supreme Lord, although in a generic way, but he knows the Lord. And he also has got some kind of spiritual connection to the Lord as well. So that person is known as Brahma Gyani. One is Jnana Brahmana, that means who has got some theoretical knowledge of the Shastras. But there is Brahma Gyani, that means he has realized knowledge, digested the knowledge. Wow, that's even on a higher level. And then there is a Bhagavat Brahmana. That means a Brahmana who is a devotee of the Supreme Lord. And which Srila Prabhupada is also highlighting in the purport that what's the condition of a Brahmana and what's the position of a Vaishnava. There is a nice book being compiled based on the lecture of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, Brahmana and Vaishnava. So what's the difference between Brahmana? So Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj, when he was invited by the local Brahmins to speak, and then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur asked him to give the synopsis of what he is going to speak. So he gave the basic synopsis, and after reading the synopsis, so Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, Saraswati, Saraswati, today is what is going to happen that is going to be miraculous, historical. So then Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, first day he glorified the Brahmanas. And when he glorified the Brahmanas were so happy. They were thinking that we thought that this person is from the other side, but actually he is from our side. Wow, that's so nice. And he glorified Brahmanas. Where Brahmanas walk, the directions pay obeisances to him. The Lord takes food from the mouth of a Brahmana. And Brahmana is the one because on whom the morality of the society depends. The teaching, the education. If he does not educate the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, the Shudras, what they can do? Nothing. He is the head of the entire society. Without head, the body cannot survive. Without arms, the body can survive. Without legs, the body can survive. But without head, the body cannot survive. So that's why Brahmanas are that, this and that. And then he glorified them. Brahmanas are feeling, wow, man, what glorification is it doing? That's really awesome. But then next day, he said that, but what is the situation of the present day Brahmanas? And then he ripped apart. He ripped apart all that, the conception which Brahmanas were posing themselves as. He completely exposed them. And what is the current status of the Brahmanas nowadays? So they were feeling so ashamed. First day, they were inflated with ego and pride. Second day, that ego and pride was leveled by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj so articulately. And third day, he glorified what does that mean to be a Vaishnava. And then he started speaking about Vaishnavism. And then third day, when he completed, then all those who were there in the audience, they were flabbergasted by the beautiful presentation by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj. They were completely impressed. Even to the extent that there was going to be stampede, which was going to be out of control for the police. So police said the entire audience wants to take the dust of the lotus feet of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj. We have to do something. So then what did they do? They took Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj, they lifted him up, they took off his shoes, dipped them in some water tank, and then sprinkled that water with the pipe on the public. And then the public was pacified. Wow. But in that lecture, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, he said so many beautiful logics and reasons from Shastras. He gave so many references to prove the superiority of the Vaishnavas above the Brahmanas. What does that mean to be really a Brahmana? He said, in case somebody says that by birth somebody is a Brahmana, by Jati somebody is a Brahmana. But we see that Valmiki took birth from Bambi. How can he be a then Brahmana? He's the one who composed Ramayana. So that means he's not a Brahmana. Even Vedavyas, the one who has composed all the Vedic literature. But we see that he has taken birth from a fisherwoman. She's not a Brahmani. In case somebody has to take birth from the womb of a Brahmani, then one is a Brahmana, then even Vedvyas is not even a Brahmana. And this way he gave many other examples of the sages who are Brahmanas of great order, but they are not taken birth from Brahmani, including Dronacharya. Dronacharya appeared from a Drona. That means the Dona, where we take prasadam, that's a Dona. So Drona. So that's why his name is Dronacharya. But he is not really, he has come from Brahmani. So in case somebody takes birth from the womb of a Brahmani, then he's a Brahmana. Then there are so many sages, but they have not taken birth from the womb of a Brahmana. But they are the best of the Brahmanas. They're not the Brahmana, they are Vaishnavas, actually. And then he said that in case we agree that somebody has taken birth from the brahmana, that's a brahmana. And sometimes from the birth of a brahmani also comes some of the worms. So will we consider those worms as brahmanas? Because they are coming from the womb of the brahmani. So that means they are also brahmanas. Is that so? Well, we can't call those worms as brahmanas. And then he said, in case somebody accepts a body from the brahmana, from the brahmani's womb. So if that is brahmana, so so who is a brahmana? The soul is a brahmana, or whether it's a body which is a brahmana. In case the soul is brahmana, but we see that there can be repeated birth and death. So that's why the soul can't be brahmana. So then who is brahmana? The body is brahmana. In case the body is brahmana, then that doesn't really make sense, because when the brahmana dies, then we do the cremation. In case we are doing cremation, that means we are killing brahmana, because we are putting the body to fire. So who is actually a brahmana? The soul is a brahmana, or body is a brahmana? And all of these different logics were so beautifully presented by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj that the opposite party, they were left speechless. They were speechless by the arguments and logic by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj. Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, he used to say that I have taken birth in a crab astrological constellation. So I am from Karka Rashi. And Karka, what does Karka do? Kark actually it bites. So that's why as soon as if I see up Siddhanta, I immediately just cut it down. That's it. So that's why before the logics of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, everyone was stunned. They were so much impressed. But yes, here what Srila Prabhupada is highlighting in the same lineage, that how somebody takes birth. Just give me a second. Okay.
Recording in progress.
Okay. Hare Krishna, I'm so sorry, devotees. I got stuck. And that's why I got late. But yes, I'm back in my room. So he gave very intelligent arguments, Srila Bhakti Maharaj, and they were practically irrefutable. And that is what Srila Prabhupada is highlighting. And then he also quotes Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He says, Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastra. That means those who are pure devotees of the Lord, they are representatives of the Lord. They are like extensions of the Supreme Lord. They are that great. So Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastra. So somebody can have say, oh, Sakshat Hari, that means devotees of the Lord and God, non-different, they are same. There is no difference, huh? So then there'll be a fault of Mayavad actually. So that's why, and then in next slide he says, Kintu Prabhorya Priya Evatasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. So yes, Sakshat Haritvena, that means he is from the inner circle of the Supreme Lord. Because the austerity, the purity, the knowledge, he is into this inner circle of the Supreme Lord, but yet different from the Supreme Lord. So this is known as Achintya, Bheda, Abheda. That means there is oneness and there is difference as well. But yes, the Brahmanas, those who are pure devotees of the Lord, they are considered same. And then Srila Prabhupada is also highlighting that even more important than deity worship is serving the Vaishnava. That means in case if I have an altar, I am doing puja, and then at that time comes one Vaishnava. So at that time, what should I do? Should I continue this? I should say, Prabhuji, please wait. I say, I'm doing deity worship, na? So I'll see you some other time. Huh? You please sit down. That means this person is a neophyte. This person is a neophyte. What I should do when I'm doing this? Oh, my dear Lord, your pure devotee has come. So I'm just dropping it here. Let me serve your pure devotee, and then I'll come back and then I'll serve you. That's the exalted Vaishnava. So that means we should treat the devotees more important than the Lord, and that pleases the Lord. That pleases the Lord. Not that, we see the deities are with us. So when deities are taken in totality, the most, even more important than devotees, that's the neophyte mentality actually. So that's why Srila Prabhupada is highlighting this point that a devotee should be worshipped more than the deity. And there are many such examples where more than deity worship, the devotee is being treated. Just like sometimes even in household life, there are some guests comes and there are Vaishnavas, there are devotees. So sometimes in deity worship at home, we do little bit here and there because Vaishnavas have come. We are serving the Vaishnavas. Yeah. So exception is there, and that way his Lord becomes very much pleased by serving the devotees. So that's why one should not have this kind of mentality that seeing the deity as more important. Lord becomes very happy. Tadiya Nam, those who are Tadiya, they are even greater in worship. They are more dear to the Lord. Like there was one great devotee of the Lord. His name was Kanchipurna. And Kanchipurna used to worship Lord Varadaraj. Lord Varadaraj is having written here, Ma Shucha, do not fear. In Tamil, it's mentioned here, with diamond studded, Ma Shucha, do not fear. And he had such connection with the Lord that he would talk to the deity of Lord Varadaraj. And sometimes people would offer their offerings, their prayers, and through him, these offerings would be given to the Lord. So there was one person, he was very much attached to Kanchipurna. He said, will you ask Lord Varadaraj, after this life, will I come to him or not? He said, okay, I'll ask. So he asked that such and such person, although he's not really very regular in terms of practices, but he is very much attached to me. But he has asked one question that after this life, will he come to you or not? And then at that time, he's fanning. Kanchipurna is fanning the Lord. So the Lord said, yes, of course he'll come to me because he's attached to you. He serves you, and that's why he'll come to me. Okay, that's wonderful. Okay, will I come to you after this life? And he signed the Lord. The Lord said, no, you will not come to me because you only serve me, but you do not serve my devotees. And those who serve my devotees, they come to me. So that's why after this life, you are not going to come to me. I said, oh, acha, acha, acha. I see. I understood. He placed a fan there itself. He went to the nearby village. There he served Mahapurna. And for 1 year, he served him. And then he was recognized by Mahapurna. And then he said, no, I can't take service from you. Please go. You please leave. And then he came back. He said, so, my dear Lord, now will I come back to you or not? He said, yes. Now you will come back to me because you have served my pure devotee. So those who serve my devotees, they are more dear to me. Like in Adi Puran, Lord Krishna told Arjuna, he said, Arjuna, those who claim to be my devotees, they are not my devotees. But those who claim to be the devotees of my devotees, they are my real devotees. So this pleases the Lord the most. And you see even in Chaitanya Lila as well, at the house of Shiva Thakur, when Lord is manifesting Saptaprahar Lila. So at that time, all the devotees are coming and they are doing Abhishek of Lord Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And then, very good, so Lord is getting bathed and then everyone is admiring, singing, dancing in front of the Lord. But the maid servant of Shiva Thakur, she goes to the bank of Ganges. From there, she fills in all these different pots so that devotees can do Abhishek of the Supreme Lord. So this was happening. So Lord's eyes, they fell on this maidservant. And Lord said, who is she? So then Shiva Thakur said, she is Dukhi. Dukhi means sad. And then Lord said, how is it possible that the one who is serving the devotee so humbly can be Dukhi? Her name should be Sukhi. And then Lord named her in this way Sukhi. Sukhi means happy. So the one who's serving the devotees should be considered happy. So that's why her name should be Sukhi, serving the devotees. Here we have one very good example in our temple. His name is Akshay Keshav Prabhu. And during COVID, he served 150 devotees. 150 devotees, Grihasthas, Brahmacharis, risking his own life. He would go and give them pills, give them oxygen cylinder, take care of them. He would wear PPE kit and then take care of them. And sometimes he used to remove the oxygen and then give them medicine, again putting the oxygen mask. But he himself never caught COVID. He served 150 devotees. And while serving the devotees, he was not able to chant his 16 rounds. He's an initiated devotee. a brahmachari. He was not able to chant his 16 rounds. So he went to His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj. He said, Maharaj, I'm not able to chant my 16 rounds. Why? Because I'm serving the devotees during COVID. So I have to go from one hospital to another hospital, from one ward to another ward, prasadam, medicine, and all that. I'm get so much stuck up in all of this, and that to 24 hours. So that's why I do not get time to chant my rounds. But I have promised you during my initiation. So please forgive me, Maharaj. Maharaj said, you do not worry about chanting. You serve the devotees. You serve the devotees. This chanting you can later on you can complete, no problem. But you currently focus on serving the devotees. So all throughout phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, Akshay Keshav Prabhu, one of my brahmachari friend, he served the devotees, risking his own life, even compromising his own chanting. He wanted to. Not that it was an excuse for him. Oh, they're very good. Now I've been exempted. My guru has exempted, so that's why I've been exempted. So nice. No. So he was always feeling that I wish I could chant my rounds, but since my guru has asked me to serve the devotees first, so I'll do this. Later on, of course, he completed his one. He was noting down every day how many rounds is he missing. So whatever hundreds and thousands of rounds were left, he completed them. But he served the devotees. So even more important than chanting is to serve a pure devotee. Vishwanath Thakur says, the real disciple is the one who is ready to, to even relinquish the taste of hearing and chanting. Firstly, to get taste for hearing and chanting is very rare. Who has taste for hearing and chanting? In Kali Yuga, we find that is so very rare to find such a soul who has taste for hearing and chanting. So somebody has acquired such a taste for hearing and chanting. One has got such a taste. But one is ready to relinquish such a taste to serve one's guru, whether Shiksha Guru or Diksha Guru, to serve one's guru. This is more important. And then Rupa Goswami also say, Vishwambhena Guru Seva. Vishwambhena Guru Seva is even more potent than any kind of sadhana. That means very intimate kind of service to Sri Guru. Your heart is connected to Guru. You're sold out to Guru. When somebody is doing that kind of seva, which exceptionally is available to few of the souls, that's why it can't be Yug Dharma. But if that can happen, so one can serve Guru with such love, with such absorption, with so much affection. That is topmost sadhana. One will get siddhi just by doing this one single limb. Vishrambhena Guru Seva. It's that powerful. So that's why serving a devotee, very more. Bhakti Maharaj says, for outsiders, Harinam Sankirtan is the Yug Dharma. But for insiders, I am telling you, for insiders, Yug Dharma is Vaishnava Seva. Serving the devotees of the Lord. This is very important. So that's why all around us, we are having devotees. So we should see them then how they are belonging to Krishna. They have Krishna connection. Often we regard, our acharyas, of course, they are connected to Krishna, so we revere them. But we should also have respect towards those devotees who are around us, with whom we eat, with whom we dine, with whom we sing, we dance. In everyday life, we spend time with them. So we should also have respect for them. Yes. So Srila Prabhupada is highlighting this point that how serving such a devotee is so very important. So he gives the example that although Brahmana or Vaishnava is worshipped as being as good as Supreme Personality of Godhead, such a devotee always remains a faithful servant of the Lord and never tries to enjoy the prestige that might accrue to him from being the Supreme Lord's representative. Like Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, to teach the etiquettes to his disciples, sometimes he would say, okay, now bow down to me. After initiation, now disciples do not know. Westerners did not know what all are different etiquettes of Diksha. So ideally, after initiation, one should bow down to Guru. So Srila Prabhupada would say, okay, now bow down to me. And they would bow down. And now say, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Now they would say, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Who is telling them? Srila Prabhupada is telling them. The initial batch devotees. But is he really seeking satisfaction or joy in this glorification? No. A devotee doesn't.
Hare Krishna, dear Prabhuji. Probably like you're frozen. Hare Krishna.
Am I visible and audible to you now?
Yes, Prabhuji, now you're visible and audible as well. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. So where was I? Yes. So Srila Prabhupada used to teach etiquettes to the devotees, but he would not seek pleasure in that respect. No, not at all. So devotees, they saw Srila Prabhupada when he was in USA or Europe, he's preaching in the West, and when he's in Vrindavan. When he's in the West, sometimes he's wearing silken dhoti and silken kurta and he is very nicely dressed. But when he's in Vrindavan, he's wearing very simple dress. Even it is torn. The dhoti is torn. The kurta is torn. The chaddar is torn. The shawl is torn. And Srila Prabhupada is very joyfully is with it, and then he's chanting Hare Krishna, is very happy. So devotees were stunned to see this form of the of Srila Prabhupada. Wow. When he's preaching, he's a different person now in Vrindavan, as if he's at home. Yes. So Srila Prabhupada used to say, Vrindavan is my home, Mayapur is my place of worship, and Juhu is my office. But Vrindavan is my home. And this is how Srila Prabhupada was. So, but he never seek pleasure. Never ever. So he said, I'm being the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even you can give me a golden car, a car made up of pure gold. Even that is less for a representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But it doesn't mean that one will actually seek in that. Like we know one guru who had 95 Rolls Royce. In the West, he had 95 Rolls Royce and he had the desire to have 100 Rolls Royce. His name starts with O, ends on O. O. 95 Rolls Royce. What will you do with this Rolls Royce, man? So he would say, Guru is like this, so Guru should have all opulence. Wow. But Srila Prabhupada never had such kind of thing. He was very relaxed. But just so that the disciples should not take Guru cheaply, sometimes Guru exhibits this kind of opulence. It's required. I remember one spiritual master, because his disciples were taking him cheaply in the sense they thought that, yeah, he's a manager, yeah, he's a GBC, he's this, he's that. They were taking like this. So he could see that disciples are taking him cheaply now. They are seeing him just as a manager. He said, now all of you come to my room and worship me. And then when they did Guru Puja, and then he was sitting, and he was looking at Srila Prabhupada's photograph as if he's offering all of this worship to Guru. But sometimes Guru has to do this with disciples because disciples are not able to see Guru as divine. Because Guru walks amongst us, he eats, he belches, and sometimes he snores as well when he's sleeping. Guru sleeping. Oh, Guru Maharaj, you snore. I also snore. You also snore. I wear gamcha. You also wear gamcha. I eat, you eat. I belch, you belch. I also got specs. Guru Maharaj, you also have specs. You don't have 6 by 6 vision? Oh, maybe Guru is not so transcendental then. So we see a devotee of the Lord not so transcendental by seeing his externals. So that's not good. Why seeing the external? In case, say, Guru is very chubby, Guru is having big size. Oh, Guru Maharaj eats so much, actually, na? Somewhere he should control his eating habits. So much of eating, that's why he's becoming so bulky that one day he will see Lord Kalki just because he's so bulky. No. So one should not judge Guru like this by seeing his externals. He's a little bulky. In case, a Guru or a Vaishnava is talking to some Mataji and then he's laughing also. Oh, my Guru Maharaj also takes pleasure in talking to the girls, ladies. Oh, I see. Judging Guru. Or in case, say, Guru is able to is not able to recall a verse, and Guru says, "Excuse me, what was that verse? Um, the fifth verse of Shikshashtakam. What was that? Guru Maharaj, I Nanda Tanuj Kinkaram. Ah, yes. I Nanda Tanuj Kinkaram. Patitam Ma Vishame Bhavam Budho. And what was the next line? Um, Kripiya Tava Pad Pankaj. Ah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Guru Maharaj. Sometimes you struggle to recall verses, huh? Oh, just see, my memory is better than you. I could recall. You could not recall. You see, I'm such a genius. Wow. In case a disciple is more famous than Guru, I got so many subscribers on YouTube. I am so famous. My guru is not that famous. So that's why it shows that who's pure. Maybe I am more pure. Because Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, the greatness of a Vaishnava is known by how many devotees he makes. I make lakhs and lakhs of devotees. My Guru Maharaj made few thousands. Huh? So, seems like I am more liberated than my Guru Maharaj. He should feel blessed that he's got a disciple like me. Good fortune unto him. Yes. Maybe he has done some good karma in past life that he will have such a disciple like me. May I bless him. Guru Maharaj, may you go back to Godhead. Wow. Adbhut. Wow. Amazing. So by seeing externals, if we judge Guru, we judge the Vaishnavas, gone. We are finished. We cannot judge. If we do that, our spiritual life is gone. So that's why one should never judge Guru from outside. In case there are genuine integrity issues, then that's another thing. Then of course there is GBC and they decide. But generally speaking, in our case, we can't judge Guru. Like in one of the marriages of a disciple, Guru was not able to come. Now usually sannyasis, they don't come to marriages. And why is it recommended that seeing a sannyasi or a brahmachari, the dulha, the bridegroom's mind may turn that I am getting into married life. These guys are moving freely. Why am I getting entangled? So his mind can change. Even a brahmachari can mind also change. Then I am alone. He's going to become well settled. I'm all alone. What will happen in my old age? Who will look after me? I don't have any money. So let me do more mouse programs and get some Sukha Prasad, dry Prasad, which is money. And then I get a flat in Vrindavan and get married to a Russian girl, happily settled. So such kind of thought can also come to the mind of a brahmachari then. So that's why usually brahmachari and sannyasi, they don't go to marriages. But this devotee lost his faith in Guru. Why? Because the Guru did not come to his marriage. He said, Guru Maharaj, if I would have been a millionaire, you would have come. Because I can give donations. But because I cannot give donations, that's why you did not come. So one can judge Guru like this. Okay, so can't hear. But can you hear me now? Who can hear? Raise your hand. Okay, some devotees are saying, okay, I can't hear. Okay, voice is breaking.
It's good, Prabhuji.
It is good.
We can hear
Yeah, it's
Prabhu.
good. Yeah, we can hear.
Thank you. So in this way, sometimes we judge the Vaishnavas. On the face value, we judge the devotees. One should not do that. Yes. Externally, we may be blessed with different abilities, different talents, but that does not really define a Vaishnava. How much attachment he has for the Lord. So when we have learning attitude, then in all situations of life, we will take advantage of the association. Yes. Even somebody who's cutting vegetables in the kitchen for the Lord can be an inspiration for us, seeing the dedication of the person. A person who just nails on the wall, then this this nail would be used in hanging the arti and everyone would sing together. Yes. So one is just having a nail. On the other, somebody is speaking, preaching, but not with good attitude. So speaker would stay in this world, and the person who is nailing will go back to Godhead. So externally, we really can't judge anyone. Yes. So here Srila Prabhupada is advising is that we should give that reverence, although that devotee himself should remain very grounded, should be very humble, should be down to earth. Yes. And that's why Srila Bhakti Maharaj used to call even his disciples Prabhu. Yes. If somebody would pay obeisances to him, he would say in retaliation, he would respond back. He would say, Dasu Asmi, I'm your servant. So that should be our attitude. So I'll stop here. Let's take a few questions now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for wonderful class, Prabhuji, as always. Dear devotees, feel free to raise hand so that we can, Maushami Mishra, Mataji, can you please go ahead?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my most
Hare
humble
Krishna.
obeisances. Prabhuji, I had the question of Chitrakatu Maharaj that is out of syllabus, but Chitrakatu Maharaj has cursed by Parvati Maya. If we do any sin in our material life, Maya Devi or Parvati Maya, punish us. But she cursed a Vaishnava, so it's also offense, right? To curse a Vaishnava.
Yeah.
So it should not mean that she should get police or some reputation or something like that.
Yes, actually, Sati had to give up her body many times. Why? Because of some knowingly, unknowingly doing some kind of offense. This happened. So Sati. So you see the Mundamala, which he has all the skulls which are there on the as a garland around the neck of Lord Shiva. Whose skulls are they? Of Sati. Every time she makes some mistake, she has to give up her body, and then again she comes back as Sati, and then again she gets married to Lord Shiva. This happens many times. So she does this mistake sometimes. But from all of these different mistakes, we can learn. We can't criticize Sati. Sati is Sati, worshipable to us. But we can learn from her mistakes.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Um,
Okay, Rita Gunhere. Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी धन्यवाद प्रणाम।
प्रणाम।
मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
बढ़िया आ रही है एकदम। It's going good.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a good lecture. Prabhuji, आपने initially, you said initially that we should worship the devotees, even if we are worshiping, we are doing DT services and all, we should leave it and then respect the Vaishnava, whoever comes. So whenever there is lecture is going on and if we receive any Vaishnava's call, then what should we do at that time?
When you are delivering a lecture.
No, when we are listening a lecture like this one, and then
okay, like you are listening to my lecture, and then someone another devotee calls you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can pick up the call and say, is there anything urgent? So in case there is something urgent, you can leave this lecture and then you can attend the call. But in case there is a friend of yours, he says, hey Rita, how are you doing? It's been long time, we did not meet, So how are you doing? How is everything? How are your kids? Then we can say, well, I'm in between a lecture. I'll get back to you after the class. That we can do. So in case there is some urgency, some kind of seva, of course one can leave. That's okay. That's understood.
So, Prabhuji, you were talking, just one more question, you were talking about that we should respect the Guru. So, Diksha Guru, definitely we do respect them because we don't even go much like near to them. So, there is not even chance to like disrespect them. But about Siksha Gurus or counselors, mentors, since we are very much familiar with them, then we forget to like sometimes
Familiarity
treat
breeds
them.
contempt.
Yeah,
that means
so
that distance of respect should always be maintained. If we don't do that, then we start offending them. There's so many of the secretaries, they fall down. You see, many of the Maharaj secretaries, they fall. How's not all of them, but many of them, because they become familiar with their guru. And people respect Maharaj, but I know him. The day starts and the day ends, I see him out and out. So that's why I know him. So often secretaries of gurus, they start committing offenses. They don't sit in lecture. They say, yeah, I heard this lecture many times. Maharaj gave this lecture earlier also. I know what's the flow of the lecture, examples, everything I know. Yeah. And then one becomes more relaxed. Yes. So that's why one should be very conscious, especially in serving the Vaishnavas, especially when we are serving them very closely. So familiarity breeds contempt. That should not happen. If you become judgmental, that means if you judge, you become mental. So don't judge. Don't be mental.
just one last question, Prabhuji. Then the secretaries, they have served the Guru Maharaj like anything. I mean, we know. Then why do they fall down?
They get benefit of serving Guru, but they also face the consequences of not taking Guru so seriously. They take Guru cheaply, they offend Guru, and then because of those offenses, they reap the result.
Oh.
Both will happen, na?
Okay,
Benefit
Prabhu.
part will also come, and then other part will also be there.
Okay, so Krishna will not forgive this.
Now, Krishna can send someone to educate them. Hey, don't take Guru so cheaply. Krishna can do that.
Very
But
complicated.
if someone is not
Very
listening,
difficult.
then
Yeah.
face the consequences.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so
Perfect.
much. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Amresh Prabhu, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, I am very much nervous to talk with you. So, Prabhuji, please excuse me for my any grammatical error. Prabhuji, my question was that once you have given in your this year, I think this year in the Radha Ashtami class, you have said that there are only 18,000 verses in Srimad Bhagavatam, but if you do the mathematical calculation in Bhagavad Gita, yeah, you have given that only in for 700 verses in 45 minutes. So there must be more than 18,000 verses in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Prabhuji, you have said that one time. So Prabhuji, my question that so why our Acharya is only given 18,000 verses?
Because
Or
Acharyas
we have
know, because Acharyas know that these people are so duffer, they will not even read 18,000 verses. If we give them 18 lakh verses, then just forget about it. They will not even read 18,000 verses. How many devotees have read 18,000 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam in ISKCON? How many of them? Not even 5% devotees. Not even 1% devotees have read Srimad Bhagavatam completely, cover to cover, page to page. Have we done that? No! 18,000 verses. So, seeing our condition, he gave 18,000 verses. But we are even more duffer. We are not even studying these 18,000 verses.
yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, another question was there. Prabhuji, once I think that was the day was disappearance day of His Holiness Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj. You have said that Krishna Bhakti that is not in our heart. The Guru gives us, but Srila Prabhupada throughout the books he has mentioned that Guru gives the means nourishes the Krishna Bhakti in our dormant position. But Prabhuji, you have said that in actual case the Guru gives the Krishna Bhakti because Krishna Bhakti is so glorious that Maya cannot cover that. Prabhuji, that question I have asked to His Holiness Bhakti Prem Maharaj. He said that it is in dormant position. And Prabhuji, you said that it is the Krishna Bhakti gives is given by the spiritual master. So Prabhuji, there is slight confusion, Prabhuji, which is right or which is
Okay.
wrong.
Actually, see, when we say dormant condition, dormant means there is potentiality of love. But we don't have, Krishna Prem in our heart. No. Krishna Prem, we have the potentiality of Krishna Prem in our heart. That's the meaning of dormant love. How can love become dormant? Krishna Prem, ecstatic Krishna Prem is dormant. No. So Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem. That Krishna Prem is Nitya Siddha. That means Krishna Prem is always liberated. Sadhya Kabunaya, and that's why by sadhana we cannot achieve it. So Shravanadi Chitte Kare Uday. That means by the process of hearing and chanting, it Uday, just like sun rises. Sun is always existing, not that sun is growing like this. No, no, no. Sun is always existing, but it just rises in the heart. Krishna Prem, like that. So that's
Okay,
what
Prabhuji.
Maharaj is saying. I'm also saying the same thing. Okay. But yes, what Guru gives? Guru gives the seed of bhakti. Guru Krishna Kripa Paye Bhakti Lata Beej. That means this beej comes from outside source. As per Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Okay, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, one last question. Prabhuji, Prabhuji, I am currently I am a student currently. So, Prabhuji, I preach some of my friends, but when they ask question about something that it is right or wrong, Prabhuji, I said that it is wrong according to the Shastras and according to our Acharyas, but that the same wrong thing I also commit, Prabhuji. So, I sometimes think that whether I should preach them or not, or either I will become like Bhajanandi means only
No, no.
focusing on your
You
own
are in
sadhana.
ISKCON, so you are supposed to be Goshtanandi. You should be preacher. But first preach to yourself. Preaching is an art. Whom to preach, what to preach. It's an art. So we don't preach
Prabhuji.
everything to everyone.
Yes,
No,
Prabhuji.
what we should see whether this person accept the authority of acharyas or not. If not, quote his acharyas. What are your acharyas? Are your acharyas from some bureaucratic background, some Bollywood or Hollywood hero? Okay, you would accept the authority of Tom Cruise. Yeah, Tom Cruise reads Bhagavad Gita. Will Smith reads Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. Vikram Sarabhai, scientist, he read Bhagavad Gita. So we should quote from their world. Not that, hamare acharya ne bola, our acharya has said it. No. So preaching is an art. What to give, when to give. It's a subtle art.
So, Prabhuji,
Yeah.
I should preach even I commit the same mistake regularly. So I should preach
Which
that
mistake?
this is wrong.
Which mistake?
Prabhuji, it's very shameful of means
Okay,
telling
take it.
the.
That's okay. Even if somebody is struggling with some regulatory principles, even then one can do preaching. Because we do preaching as an instrument of our acharyas. We do preaching to please our acharyas. Not that I am very capable of doing preaching, I am very compassionate. No, what compassion we have? Nothing. But we are instruments in the hand of the acharya. So that ways, with this attitude, we should preach. Not that first you become liberated, you get Krishna Prem, then you start preaching. No. Preaching is our sadhana. When you glorify Krishna, it is kirtanam. So that means we should preach.
Okay, thank you, Broji. Broji, that doubt arose because of that Prabhupada's one line that you should make yourself first perfect, then preach to others. So, Broji,
No,
that's why the.
he said become perfect in the sense not really Krishna Prem. In the sense when you are convinced, preach. Otherwise, he would not ask
Okay.
devotees to become GBC members and preachers and sannyasis. He knew that they are not perfect. Otherwise, there would not be any kind of fall down after Srila Prabhupada left. But there were fall downs because they were not currently fully ripened. That's why some fall downs also happened. And Srila Prabhupada knew this. So that's why preaching should be done. He gave preaching empowerment to so many, although they were not really great preachers in terms of knowledge and realizations. But by preaching about Krishna, we become deep in our own Krishna consciousness. Okay, Sudhakar Prabhu, yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
It was a very nice lecture. Actually, today's gem, at least what I could learn is that, Vaishnava is not less than the God. So this is one good thing I learned. And also, I learned that Vaishnava Aparad is also a sin, right? And third one, what I
Greatest
learned
sin.
from today's lecture is that one should not go by the outlook, right? But somewhere I just got this doubt how to, for example, in today's world, people were like the outlook is really confusing, and there are many people who just try to, project their outlook as a sadhus or devotees or Brahmins. And in that case, what as a sadhak, I'm not an expert, I'm not an anything. For me, if I see anybody, irrespective of whether, or at least I should respect the outlook and then offer service, or I should think that he is, though he may not be a real Vaishnava, but his outlook is a Vaishnava outlook. I should consider him as a service of God and offer him service. This is
As I
something
told
I
you,
just
if
got
you
a doubt.
judge, you become mental. That's why one is known as judgmental. If you see a devotee, whether in terms of outlook or whether in content, he's a devotee. Serve the devotee. Serve. In case there is an opportunity, we should serve. We should not make first calculations, report card. What is the report card? How many marks should I give to this person? And then I'll serve. No, we serve. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Anang Kishori Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, Prabhuji, my question is that uh, sometimes when we get intimately connected with devotees, so like sometimes their temperament and nature, it contradicts the philosophy. So then there's a tendency to alienate ourselves from that sangha. And then, of course, we hear how glorious Vaishnavas are, and we know it's true. But then seeing some tendencies in devotees, it feels that should I keep a distance? And then I know that without them also I can't do it on my own. I need the association.
You
So
see what
how
kind
do
of deviation?
sorry?
You see what kind of deviations in them?
Like somebody may have pride, some are arrogant, some have temper, and some are rude and blunt and selfish. These normal, maybe normal. But of course, Vaishnav is supposed to have very high character, and
Yes,
so
that's true.
these things we don't see in all devotees. I'm sure there are glorious devotees in the moment, but
Few devotees are there, few. associate
Yeah.
with them. Respect
Okay.
others, but as one can associate even though they are less in number, sincerely practicing devotees, but we can take their sangha. That's okay. In case you're not mixing with those people who are arrogant, proud, rude, insulting, not so Krishna conscious, respect them from distance. Associate with the sincere ones. That's perfectly fine. Okay?
Yes. Thanks, Prabhu.
Okay, welcome. Okay, Hardy Lohar from Vadodara.
Prabhuji, probably she cannot unmute. That's why she sent the message to me. That's how to be obedient to everyone, because after coming in devotion, we ignore our family members and or someone who is not a devotee.
Yeah, you don't have to be obedient to everyone. Only few you can be obedient to, of course. Of course we cooperate, we try to cooperate with everyone. But in terms of obedience, there are few whom we really follow. So that's why we doesn't have to be obedient to everyone. But in case we are not really obedient, somewhere it is our own ego. When we are not obedient, somewhere there can be a pride of one's own intelligence. Then I'm so good. Do I really depend on someone? No. So that's why there can be a pride of intelligence, because intelligent people sometimes are driven by themselves so much that they don't listen to others. So this can happen. Yeah. Or there can be some kind of preconceived notion about the person who's advising, or there can be a grudge against those who are advising. That's why one is not taking help of the other person's knowledge. So these are some of the reasons. Yes.
Prabhuji, her follow-up question is how to be tolerant to them.
Okay. How to be tolerant? Firstly, know that in terms of tolerating people, we can tolerate people by knowing that everyone has got their own nature, conditioned by three modes of material nature: mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. And there's a permutation of all the three. So depending on that, one has got different temperament. So we should try to accept people as they are. Yes, we should try to accept people as they are. More we try to change them, then there's a disturbance actually. So we should tolerate them. Just like we tolerate summers and winters. During summers also we go to temple. During winters also we go to temple. Right? During good times, bad times, knowing that they are temporary in nature, one should tolerate them. Good time is also temporary. Bad time is also temporary. Fame is also temporary. Infamy is also temporary. Profit is also temporary. Loss is also temporary. So that's why praises are also temporary. Insults are also temporary. Temporary. Understanding the temporary nature of life, it becomes easier for us to tolerate that this time shall pass. Yes. Next question.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have a question. Can I ask?
Puchi, yes. Please ask.
Prabhuji, as you mentioned that the soul is of course not a brahmana and body is not a brahmana, then we mention the qualities of the person as a brahmana, or then who is brahmana?
Yes. So that means one is Brahmana by nature, which one has acquired, and one can change one's nature.
Gotcha, Prabhuji. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Next.
Okay, Siddhi Gupta is asking Hare Krishna, why only brahmacharya order is considered essential element for liberation among all the others? Actually, brahmacharya means brahme chariti iti brahmachari. That means acting on transcendental platform is known as brahmachari. So one has to come to the level of transcendence. Transcendently, we should serve the Lord, not in sattva, rajas, and tamas. So we are to become sagunan samatitetan. So we are to serve the Lord beyond the three modes. And for that, that is known as brahmachari. So that's why brahmacharya doesn't mean just sexual purity. One is not engaged in any kind of sex life. So that's a brahmachari. That's one aspect of brahmachari life. That okay, in terms of sexual activity, there is no sexual activity, neither artificial nor with anyone. So this person is a brahmachari. But there is external brahmachari. More important brahmachari aspect is that one is doing whatever activities one is doing for Krishna, speaking for Krishna, seeing for Krishna, walking for Krishna, taking rest for Krishna, everything is for Krishna. That's a brahmachari actually. So that's why this element of brahmacharya is very essential. That means completely absorbed in terms of senses, mind, intelligence, thoughts, identity in connection to Krishna. That's the real thing. Then one gets liberated actually. That's why. Okay, so Rita Mataji, yes.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for taking my question once again. Prabhuji, I just had a doubt that you said Vaishnav Seva is everything. Then you also give example of one of your friend that he had completed all his pending rounds also. So, but if Vaishnav Seva is everything, then why there is chanting? Then, I mean, Vaishnav Seva is everything, then it is actually more easier than chanting the rounds.
To serve the Lord is easy, to serve the devotee is difficult. A devotee can screw you. Yes, a devotee sometimes they are inconceivable. And this aspect of Vaishnava Seva is not available to everyone. So chanting is more accessible to everyone. Also, chanting gives us a conception to serve the devotee, to see devotee as devotee. This comes by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So one is most important doesn't mean others are non-essential. They're also essential. Among all these different essential things, Vaishnava Seva is topmost. As per Srila Bhaktisnand Maharaj. But that which is second number essential doesn't mean it is non-essential. Right?
So, Prabhuji, chanting or Vaishnav Seva, I mean, can we like rank it second number of first number? Which one is
Second number to chanting, first number to Vaishnava Seva. So doesn't mean that second number I can just relinquish because I got number one, Vaishnava Seva. No. Are we really doing Vaishnava Seva of that quality? No. Once in a week maybe. But is that sufficient to become liberated? No. So that's a Vaishnava Seva. Whenever you get an opportunity, grab it with all enthusiasm. But otherwise, we should be chanting Hare Krishna nicely, with attention.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji, you said Vaishnav Seva is actually more difficult. Yeah, actually, it is.
Yeah. As per Srila Bhaktisnand Maharaj, not as per me. Bhaktisnand Maharaj said this. Vaishnava Seva is more important. Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj says, instead of chanting your inattentive rounds, go and serve in the garden of a devotee who is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra attentively. By taking care of the garden, the vegetables and flowers in the garden, in the backyard of that devotee's house, you will get more spiritual benefit than by chanting inattentive rounds. Instead of doing this, go and serve in the vegetable garden of a devotee.
Who is chanting Sudhanam?
Yes, who's chanting nicely.
Okay, thank you so much,
Okay.
Prabhuji. Both, I mean, conceptual clarity again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, devotees, thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Thai Go Premanande, Hari 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 Bol.
His Grace Amogh Prabhuji ki jai.
Bye.
Prabhuji, thank you so much.
Bye.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you.
Vanchakalpatarubhyavamo Vaishnavyo Namo Koti Vaishnava Srila Prabhupada Thank you so much Prabhuji.
Ranga Nityananda.
Radhe Radhe.
Hari Hari.